Hello, my name is Sarah McAllister. I'm the founding director of Feng Shui Agency. I'm delighted to give you some general tips, but please note they are not to substitute a professional Feng Shui consultant's advice. As you can see from the illustration, this consists of 8 trigrams. Now, a trigram is a structure made of 3 lines, hence the word trigram. And in the ancient Chinese cosmological viewpoint, the trigrams represented different actions of nature, different qualities of nature. You can compare the 8 directions to 8 main acupuncture points of a house. But they are very generalized because, in fact, if you look at an authentic Feng Shui compass, there are far more than just 8 directions. There are up to 64 different directions. But ultimately, they all stem from the Bagua. Now, to put it simply, the Bagua can be applied to a property if you take a compass and just orientate yourself so that you find the north, and then align the map that you have, the map of the Bagua, with the north in your property. The easiest way to take a compass reading in a house as a beginner is to just stand in the middle and align your compass needle with north and the point of north, and then see where you are within your house. Then go outside your house so that you can take another reading to make sure that there was no magnetic interference inside from, say, a radiator or from some water in the wall, etc., etc. So once you've found the north position, you know where you are in the Bagua map. Now, each of these directions relates to a different part of our lives. The north is the journey or the vocation, and it's also known as the career. So when we look at a property, at a very basic level, we will be considering the north because of its association with career. So if you have a junk room in the north, if you have a large bathroom in the north, or a garage in the north that is not used very much, then these are all undermining the career of the occupants. And what you need to do is try and de-junk, declutter. If it's a bathroom, try and keep the qi in the room by using plants to hold the qi, live plants to hold the qi in the room. Now, it's not the only consideration for career. There are many other career sectors of the house, so don't get too stressed out. But I'm giving you some general principles here. So as you can see from the image that we have for you, the northeast is the inner knowledge area. Okay, so this is a good part of your house to meditate or do yoga or have pictures of religious icons if you're at all religious, or not have icons depending on your religion. You can access a quieter energy, because if you understand that Feng Shui is about the sun and the moon, in the northern hemisphere, the north and the northeast are very, very quiet, okay? They're very still because they're so dark. And that is why they lend themselves to introspection and sleep. Then moving round to the east, we come to the position known as the elders. Now, this can also be your ancestry. And if you are reconciled with your ancestry and your past, it is easier for you to be creative and to also have children yourself. And if you'll notice, creativity in children is right opposite the east in the west. Now, all these principles will interact with one another. If you are on your journey and you are in a job that you love, you will be shining, so you will be illuminating. And so in the south we find the position known as illumination, or also known as fame. Now in the southeast we have the fortunate blessings. Now everybody usually refers to this as wealth. But let's consider a wealth of interesting people in your life, or a wealth of blessings, whatever they may be, or a wealth of healthy family members. You know, there's all sorts of different types of wealth, or even inner treasure, like are you looking after yourself through nutrition and exercise? All these types of wealth can be included in the fortunate blessings area. It's not just monetary, okay? And you'll see that the southeast is directly opposite the northwest, which is helpful friends. The principle here is that the more you help others, the more fortunate blessings you'll receive. The more fortunate blessings you'll receive, the more you're likely to give away to others as well. So all these areas of life are interconnected. So if we move to the southwest, this is known as relationships, and this is one that everybody wants to know about. If you look, it's directly opposite the northeast, which is inner knowledge. So the principle is, if you don't know yourself very well, if you don't take time to know yourself, how can you be in successful relationship with other people? And quite often, people will mirror parts of them that they haven't resolved, and if the successful relationship can deal with that, then that's great. But sometimes it breaks a relationship down if people refuse to look at their own responsibility. So if you have relationship problems, don't just look to the southwest of your property. Look also to the northeast. What is happening in the northeast? And I'm talking about inside the property now. There is a whole model of Feng Shui for outside the property, but it's best that as a beginner, you consider the inside and let the professionals look at the exterior techniques. So moving round the Bagua to the west, this is associated with creativity in children. So again, if you are suffering in that area of your life, my suggestion is to look at the west and see if there's anything you can improve, see if there's anything you can spruce up or clean or declutter. Because, I mean, the reason we do talk about clutter in Feng Shui is because clutter affects the energy. Even just refreshing the carpet, a really old carpet, can have such a lifting effect on the general energy of a property. So that's why good order is very, very important in Feng Shui. In the northwest, we have the helpful friends or helpful people area, and this can be anything from helpful relatives to helpful neighbors. Some people also call upon angels and spirit guides depending on their belief. And it's also to do with authority at a very general level. So if, for instance, you are having some career issues which are concerning your boss, you need to look and see, is there a problem in the northwest? Am I in conflict with authority? Because what you want to do is have that authority work for you instead of against you, hence helpful friends.